with a topic today. I don't know whether anybody wants us to leave right now. You certainly could do that. We'll see how it goes. I mean, it's just a 1/4 inch thick, and we're not going to do it all either. So, but it's in big print. That helps. So it's called "Pondering on Passing" by Prominent Poets, and I think you'll find it kind of interesting. It's not necessarily a downer. Some of them are kind of that way, but not necessarily. So let me read a little bit of this. The purpose of this presentation is to provide perhaps a little bit of insight into the bards and the poets that, like you and I, thinking about and confronting our own mortality. And in the grand scheme of things, death is not what is needed for the is what is needed for the flora and fauna on this planet to flourish. To put it rather bluntly, once we've fulfilled our purpose in life, to procreate, to multiply, be fruitful, and just to get out of the way for the younger generation and let them have their fun. It's more than just that. The leaves of the mighty oak, together with its limbs and trunks and roots, give way to enrich the soil, and so the next generation of oaks might grow. So this is a little
Can you speak a little louder?
Can I speak a little louder?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I mumble. I'm told I mumble.
Oh, well,
Okay,
I
so
wouldn't
you're
go, I
right.
wouldn't go that far, but
All right.
thank
Message.
You'd scarce expect one of my age to speak in public on the stage, and if I chanced to fall below Demosthenes or Cicero, don't view me with a critical eye, but pass my imperfections by. Large streams from little fountains flow, tall oaks from mighty acorns grow. My daughter Paige, upon learning that her adopted feral cat actually was run over by a neighbor's car, and said rather sadly, "Oh, I'm glad to know she did not leave me." And, which was a kind of a sad thing, that's for sure. But of all the ways to lose a person, death is the kindest. And that's by Ralph Waldo Emerson. So I challenge you to this morning to kind of listen to these various poems and see what they have to say. What I'd like for you to do is think about the philosophy behind what they put into the poem. The poem. So this one, I think I got this from here. There's a little. It's called "Let the Mystery Be" song.
Yeah.
Who-
Iris Demand.
Iris DeMint, yes. Who?
Bill.
Bill.
Bill, did you bring it?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, I picked up a few of them and I redid it. So let me just do this because this kind of sets the stage, I think, for what I'm trying to do here. Everybody's wondering what and where they all came from. Everybody's worrying about where they're going to go. When the whole thing's done, but no one knows for certain, and so it's all the same to me. I think I'll just let the mystery be. Some say you're going to be gone forever, and some say you're going to come back. Some say you rest in the arms of the Savior, if in sinful ways you lack. Some say they are coming back in a garden, bunch of carrots and little sweet peas. I think I'll just let the mystery be. Everybody's wondering what and where they all came from. Everybody's worrying about where they're going to go. When the whole thing's done, but no one knows for certain. And so it's all the same to me. I think I'll just let the mystery be. Some say they're going to be a place called glory. I ain't saying that ain't a fact. But I've learned that I'm on a road to purgatory, and I don't like the sound of that. I believe in love, I live my life accordingly, but I choose to let the mystery be. Everybody is wondering what and where they all came from. Everybody is worrying about where they're going to go. When the old thing's done, but no one knows for certain, and so it's all the same to me. I think I'll just let the mystery be. One of our not yet dead poets is Nellie Washalinsky. There's a picture of Nellie, if you probably know her. She writes haikus, publishes them, and does, she's under contract to a publisher to do kind of devotionals, yes, I think that's what it is. But this one kind of sets the stage too, I think. It's called Skirmishing with Death. You're there sneaking round, hiding outside my door, or lurking behind the lilac bush in my garden. You think I don't know who you are, disguised in angel wings tinged with black. As years went by, you sat at my table and rode in my car while keeping vigil. You invaded my dreams and mockingly extended your hand. But when I have grown tired of diminishing breath and bone, we'll share a cup of resignation, and it will be I who reaches out to you. So I'm going to start with a few Unitarian connections. Of course, Ralph Waldo Emerson. I think this one's a pretty good example of what we're talking about. So it's called The Past. The debt is paid, the verdict said, the furies laid, the plague is stayed, all fortunes made. Turn the key and bolt the door, sweet is death forevermore. Nor haughty hope, nor swat chagrin, nor murdering hate can enter in. All is now secure and fast, not the gods can shake the past. Files of the adamantian door, bolted down forevermore. None can re-enter there, no thief, no politic, no Satan with a royal trick. Steal in by window, chink or hole, to bind or unbind, add what lacked, insert a leaf or forge a name. New face or finish what is packed, alter or mend eternal fact. So once you're dead, you're dead. I guess that's it. That's what I'm talking about. E. E. Cummings is the son of a Unitarian minister. I think probably most of you know that. And of course, all his writings, there's no punctuation, there's no capitalization, that sort of thing. It's an amazing fellow. He's got at the Poetry Foundation in New York, his desk is there, and I've had meet Joe Hampton, who's one of our members, sat down and scribbled out, wrote a letter and sent it to us, and it says, from the desk of E. E. Cummings. So this one has to do with death, not necessarily that comes in a natural way. It's what all the folks here have been, that are in the military, face, okay? And you may find your death come rather quickly sometimes and not necessarily looking forward to it. It's called Next to, of course, God, America, I. Next to, of course, God, America, I love your land of the pilgrims and so forth. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early, my country, 'tis of centuries come and go, and are no more what of it we should worry in every language, even deaf and dumb. The sons acclaim your glorious name by gory, by jingo, by gee, by gosh, by gum. Why talk of beauty? What could be more beautiful than these heroic happy dead who rushed like lions to the roaring slaughter? They did not stop to think, they died instead. They shall, the voice of liberty, be mute. He spoke and drank rapidly a glass of water. Allen Ginsberg, he was born in Newark, New Jersey, 1926, died in 1997. And he was an American poet, kind of the leader of the Beat generation. Some of us are old enough to know about that. Most of you are not. Father Death Blues is called. Hey, Father Death, I'm flying home. Hey, poor man, you're all alone. Hey, old daddy, I know where I'm going. Father Death, don't cry anymore. Mama's there beneath the floor. Brother Death, please mind the store. Oh, Auntie Death, don't hide your bones. Oh, Uncle Death, I hear your groans. Oh, Sister Death, how sweet your moans. Oh, children deaths, go breathe your breaths. Sobbing breast, ease your deaths. Pain is gone, tears take the rest. Genius Death, your art is done. Lover Death, your body's gone. Father Death, I'm coming home. Guru Death, your words are true. Teacher Death, I thank you for inspiring me to sing this blues. Buddha Death, I wait with you. Dharma Death, you mind is new. Sankhya Death, y'all work it through. Suffering is what was born. Ignorance made me forlorn. Tearful truths I cannot scorn. Father Breath, once more farewell. Birth you gave was no thing ill. My heart is still, at time will tell. I'm going to skip over a couple of these. This is the one that I like because I'm a sailor. We've had a number of people at the yacht club pass over the years, and we've read this particular one by Alfred Lord Tennyson, and it's called Crossing the Bar. There's probably two of these that I think you'll find interesting, perhaps. Crossing the bar. Okay, and the bar, by the way, is when you go from a river out into a lake or out into the sea. There's usually a bar there. Okay, it's because of the interaction between the thing and the sand bar. It's a sand bar, but you have to go over it. Okay, and it's really a tough thing. If you've ever seen pictures of boats going up over the waves that are piled up by the bar. Anyway, called Crossing the Bar. Sunset and evening star, and one clear call for me, and may there be no moaning of the bar when I put out to sea. But such a tide as moving seems asleep, too full for sound and foam, when that which drew from out the boundless deep turns again home. Twilight and evening bell, and after that the dark, and may there be no sadness of farewell when I embark. For though from out our bourne of time and place the flood may bear me far, I hope to see my pilot's face when I have crossed the bar. I think we think a lot about, let's put this in some sort of order here. Emily Dickinson, probably everybody knows a little bit about Emily Dickinson. She was born up in Amherst, Massachusetts, became quite reclusive and wrote poetry, a lot of poetry. We have the Not Yet Dead Poets are now meeting at First Christian Church, and I was talking with the new assistant minister there, and her name is Karen Tishman, and I was in her office, and we were just kind of talking about that sort of thing. She says, "Oh, Emily Dickinson," and so she goes over and she reaches back and picks up this book this thick of Emily Dickinson's poetry. A lot of it wasn't published until after her death, but it's quite interesting. Anyway. So let me see if I could find Emily. There are people have been writing. Oh, this big mess here. This one's called "I Died for Beauty But Was Scarce." And you all will probably know this. You've probably seen it before. I died for beauty but was scarce, adjusted in the tomb, when one who died for truth was laid in an adjoining room. He questioned softly why I failed. For beauty, I replied, and I for truth themselves are one. We brethren are, he said. And so, as kinsmen met at night, we talked between the rooms, until the moss had reached our lips and covered up our names. I would rather say it.
Where's the perky one now?
I got it ready. I got one. I could do a perky one. I got one. Okay. Yeah, there are some that you'll
Sure, Tom.
I got one. No, I got one. I don't know. I think it's, we'll do Edgar Allan Poe. You think about death, you think about Edgar Allan Poe.
Oh, that's perky.
Yeah.
Well, they're fun, right? Some of them are kind of fun, you know. Telltale Heart and all that sort of stuff. A little strange. He's one of the very first poets to actually make money at writing, okay? And he didn't make a lot, okay? Not much at all. But anyway, which is the one you would think about? Maybe Annabelle Lee, right? Annabelle Lee. So let me do Annabelle Lee for you. Annabelle Lee was many and many a year ago in a kingdom by the sea. That maiden there lived, whom you may know by the name of Annabelle Lee. And this maiden she lived with no other thought to love and be loved by me. I was a child and she was a child in this kingdom by the sea, but we loved with a love that was more than a love, I and my Annabelle Lee. The love that the winged seraphs of heaven coveted her and me. And this was the reason that long ago in this kingdom by the sea, a wind blew out a cloud, chilling my beautiful Annabelle Lee, so that her high-born kinsman came and bore her away from me, to shut her up in a sepulchre in this kingdom by the sea. The angels, not half so happy in heaven, went envying her and me. Yes, this was the reason, as all men know, in this kingdom by the sea, that the wind came out of the cloud by night, chilling and killing my Annabelle Lee. But our love was stronger by far than the love of those who were once older than we, of many far wiser than we, and neither the angels of heaven above can ever dissever my soul from the soul of the beautiful Annabelle Lee. For the moon never beams without bringing dreams of the beautiful Annabelle Lee, and the stars never rise but I feel the bright eyes of the beautiful Annabelle Lee. And so all the night tide I lay by the side of my darling, my life and my bride, in the sepulchre there by the sea, in her tomb by the sounding sea.
That's perfect.
Whoopee.
You're right.
Was that again Edgar Allan Poe, did you say?
That was Edgar
Yes.
Allan Poe, yeah. And I've got another one here that somebody else wrote after that, and it's sort of the same sort of thing, but it's kind of interesting. I knew this was going to be a downer. I'm sorry. Anyway, let's see. Oh, this one. The imagery of some of these are really quite good.
Are you sure they're not yet dead?
When the poets were writing them, I hope. This one, Henry Van Dyke. He was born in Germantown, PA. That's where he was born. Let's see. Again, a minister connection. He was his father. His son was influenced by his father's role as a minister, and the boy was not necessarily a model child either. So, anyway, Henry Van Dyke. It's called "Gone from My Sight," and you'll probably recognize this one before. I am standing upon the seashore. A ship at my side spreads her white sails to the moving breeze and starts for the blue ocean. She is an object of beauty and strength. I stand and watch her until at length she hangs like a speck of a white cloud just above the sea and sky to mingle with each other. Then someone at my side says, "There she's gone." Gone where? Gone from my sight, that is all. She is just as large in mast and hull and spar as she was when she left my side. And she is just as able to bear her load of living freight to her destined port. Her diminished size is in me, not in her. And just at the moment when someone says, "There she is gone," there are other eyes watching her coming, and other voices ready to take up the glad shout, "Here she comes," and that is dying. You're going to have to say "quit" at some point.
That was perfect.
Pardon?
That one was perfect.
Yeah, it was kind of
A little bit.
It was kind of. Let's see. Where's Casey? Casey's not here today, is he?
No,
I put one in here. Kabir. Does anybody know Kabir?
Some
It was an Indian.
Indian dude.
Yeah, Indian dude. Yeah, right. Exactly. Sure enough. And This was called Time Before Death. He was, his life, he was born in around 1440 and died around 1518. And he was one of the most quoted Indian poets and mystics. He was somewhat shrouded in mystery. He was pretty much illiterate. I don't know how, he must have just been written down by somebody else. And the only thing he knew how to write was the word Rama. The time before death. Friend, hope you are the guest while you are alive. Jump into experience while you are alive. Think and think while you are alive. What you call salvation belongs to the time before death. If you don't break your ropes while you're alive, do you think ghosts will do it after? The idea that the soul will join with the ecstatic just because the body is rotten. That's all fantasy. What is found now is found then. If you find nothing now, you will simply end up with an apartment in the city of death. If you make love with the divine now, in the next life you will have the face of satisfied desire. So plunge into the truth. Find out who the teacher is. Believe in the great sound. Kabir says this when the guest is being searched for. It is the intensity of the longing for the guest that does all the work. Look at me and you will see a slave of that intensity. Alrighty. I know there's not a real positive one in here at all. Sorry. I've thought about this over and over and over again. I didn't know what to do. Okay, how about Dylan Thomas, 1914 to 1953. It's called Death Shall Have No Dominion. And death shall have no dominion. Dead men, naked, they shall be one. With the man and the wind and the west moon, when their bones are picked clean and the clean bones gone, they shall have stars at elbow and foot. Though they go mad, they shall be sane. Though they sink through the sea, they shall rise again. Though lovers be lost, love shall not, and death shall have no dominion. And death shall have no dominion under the windings of the sea. The lying long shall not die windingly. Twisted on racks with sinews give way, strapped to a wheel, yet they shall not break. Faith in their hands shall snap in two, and the unicorn evil runs them through. Split all ends as they shan't crack, and death shall have no dominion. And death shall have no dominion, no more gulls cry at their ears, or waves break loud on the seashore, where blew a flower, may a flower no more. Lift its head to the blows of the rain, though they may be mad and dead as nails. Heads of the characters hammer through daisies, break in the sun till the sun breaks down, and death shall have no dominion. You really got to stop and think through some of these to kind of, what is he trying to say? What's his philosophy? What does he believe about life and death? And what does he believe about the transitions? And they're all a little bit different. Some of them are fairly obvious. The one by Van Dyke, of course, yeah, it's, he believes that it's just a simple transition into another world. So they're interesting. William Butler Yeats, 1865 to 1939. He was,
Long life.
pardon?
It's a long life.
Yeah, well, 40, 35, 70, back in the day, I guess it was. Yeah. A dream of death. I dreamed that one had died in a strange place, no unaccustomed hand, and they had nailed the board above her face. The peasants of that land, wandering to lay in that solitude, raised above her mound a cross they had made out of 2 bits of wood, and planted cypress round, and left her in the different stars above, until I carved these words: she was more beautiful than thy first love, but now she lies beneath boards.
Man.
Oh, you guys are down. I gotta quit. Does anybody know Sylvia Plath?
Yes, of course.
Of course. Okay. So you know how she died.
Yes.
She
She killed herself.
She killed herself.
Oh, good.
She's really wonderful. Sylvia Plath was born in 1932 and lived in Jamaica Plain, Massachusetts. And she was a bit of a perfectionist. I mean, there's ways of dying, I guess, and this one, she basically went in, sealed up the room, the kitchen, I guess it was, and put her kids in the other room. She had two kids. And stuck her head in an oven and turned it on. And that was the
Gas oven.
Gas oven, yes, not an electric oven. Okay.
What year did she do that?
Let's see, 1950. No, let's see, I'm not sure. 63. Yeah, 63. Okay, so let me give you this one. This one is, it's called A Mad Girl's Love Song. I shut my eyes and all the world drops dead. Now this is, you know what solipsism is? Solipsistic? It's the concept that if you don't observe it, it's not there. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, so
Oh,
that's what this,
ostrich.
pardon?
An ostrich.
It's like an
Burying
ostrich,
his
yeah,
head.
but one of our not yet dead poets, Tom Gainshins, who started in 2004 with it when he was 14 years old. He's now got his degree, and anyway, Tom is great. He did one on solipsism. I shut my eyes and all the world drops dead. I lift my lids and all is born again. And I think I made you up inside my head. The stars go waltzing out in blue and red, and arbitrary blackness gallops in. I shut my eyes and all the world drops dead. I dreamed that you bewitched me into bed and sung me moonstruck, kissed me quite insane. I think I made you up inside my head. God topples from the sky, hell's fires fade. Exit seraphim and Satan's men. I shut my eyes and all the world drops dead. I fancied you returned the way you said, but I grow old and I forgot your name. I think I made you up inside my head. I should have loved a thunderbird instead. At least when spring comes they roar back again. I shut my eyes and all the world drops dead. I think I made you up inside my head. That was Sylvia Plath. Good. We're going to do maybe a couple more and see if I can find the best ones of this. Khalil Gibran. This one's very long, but I'm just going to tell you what it kind of is. I'm going to read one of them. It's called The Beauty of Death 14. Okay, and there's part 1, which is called The Calling, and then there's part 2, The Ascending, and then part 3, The Remains. And I'm only going to do the first one. Let me sleep, for my soul is intoxicated with love, and let me rest, for my spirit has had its bounty of days and nights. Light the candles and burn the incense round my bed. Scatter leaves of jasmine and rose over my body. Embalm my hair with frankincense and sprinkle my feet with perfume, and read what the hand of death has written on my forehead. Let me rest in the arms of slumber, for my open eyes are tired. Let the silver-stringed lyre quiver and soothe my spirit. Weave from the harp and lute a veil around my withering heart. Sing of the past as you behold the dawn of hope in my eyes, for its magic meaning is a soft bed upon which my heart rests. Dry your tears, my friends, and raise your heads as the flowers raise their crowns to meet the dawn. Look at the bride of death standing like a column of light between my bed and the infinite. Hold your breath and listen to me, to the beckoning rustle of her white wings. Come close and bid farewell. Touch my eyes with smiling lips. Let the children grasp my hands with soft and rosy fingers. Let the ages place their veined hands upon my head and bless me. Let the virgins come close and see the shadows of God in my eyes, and hear the echo of his will while racing with my breath. Alrighty. We're just going to leave a few here. We're not going to do Morton Nilsson. Philip Larkin. Let's see. Hang on, this one's not going to do that. We did the Annabelle Lee, so.
Do you have any more Yates?
I got lots of Yates, yes, but not here. Not here. Yeah, let's see what we do. We can just do one more. Morton Nelson, I'd do Morton Nelson. There's Philip Larkin, but don't pass on that one
Who's Martin Nelson?
anyway.
Background.
Morton Nelson, he's a poet. I don't know much about him. He's not one that I'm really familiar with. I just saw this particular one and I thought it was interesting. This is called Death. Death I encountered. It was just one of those good ones, right?
You like living in a positive, uplifting
I
life.
try to live in a positive, uplifting life. Yeah, right, exactly.
Tom, what time period is it from? Could you tell us that?
In the 30s,
Okay.
30s, and he died in
That's what I
1944,
wanted to know.
2 years after I was born. Death I encountered when I was a boy, but only as stillness in one dear to me. Never as something around me, a coldness, a shadow, no one can name by name or get it to leave. Never as the coldness of some strange thing, as depth on depth in stiffened muscles band, as if I fell and fell in a coldness without space from holding a stranger's cold hand in my hand. And now I know it once more, here and everywhere. It stands in the silent night above the forest floors. It moves like a dizzy distance in the summer sky. Like the sleeper's mouth, it lies like moans. It waits always just to be to the side of things, a shadow invisible, long veins in stones and trees. It makes it richer with the new seconds and more evil. It comes always close to me. But we conduct no conversations with each other, neither at dawn nor when the stars form fleets. We just know both of us, the other is there. No more is necessary. One day we'll surely meet. So think back with Nellie's one, which is, when I have grown tired of diminishing breath and bone, and we shall share a cup of resignation, and it will be I who reaches out to you. And it's kind of the same thing. I'll just leave those two, the beginning and the end, so to speak. So I know it's a downer, I'm sorry.
Do you have some you wrote?
I was gonna pick up some. I've done some. I think everybody who is a poet writes something about dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, has anybody written things like that? I'm sure they have. Yeah. So anyway, I think we think about that, and it's just something that we tend to write about a lot. Whoops, there we go. So with that, I will quit. And leave you in such a high state of right. Yeah, euphoria. So thank you very much.